A little mic check. Good morning, Coco. Can you hear me? Good morning, good morning. Probably get rid of the music. Can you let me know if you hear me? I don't see dots for everyone. Oops. Great, Icaria. Thank you. Good morning, Safia. Good morning, Mayor. Safia, if you could help me by reminding people that I am reading in voice this morning, and thank you for sending messages to the groups. I appreciate that. But if you could help me, catch people to make sure they know I'm in voice, that would be wonderful. Good morning, Vagini. Good morning, Zuri. So glad that somebody taught me phonics. I will do so. Thank you, Safia, for the reminder. Good morning, honey. Welcome to the archive, which I call home. You have come to hear the oracle, and so you shall. But there is a risk in knowing that you're the past and that the future stretches on without you. To the high elves, proud, refined, skilled in magic and craftsmanship, revered for your wisdom and grace, you who embody elegance and sophistication in elven society, here's what I would say to you. As the countless lives have proven, fate can't be outrun. Would fleeing stop the universal spinner at her wheel, or cause the weaver to abandon the cosmic loom? Even I am bound through, though they call me oracle. Would running make me other than I am, or would I be compelled to find those I dream and tell them what their future holds, or would they stumble and find me in unlikely places, carrying with them the scars from perilous journeys? Does not knowing the prophecy stop destiny? It won't. It never has. Known or not, we ride this sea called life and take what the gale may bring. So here I am, speaking words that will fade and be scraped from pages to be written on again by some future hand in the time of Faire. Remember, folk fair and wise, with magic, time is malleable, not linear as those mundane may think. What you see as now is subsequent to some millennia ago from where you once stood, from that ancient past called forth by some errant mist and magic, before the death, before the poisoned sea, before the midnight run and 1,000 nights on storm-tossed ships. If in puzzlement you stand, ask now, when language evolves, what remains? A remnant, some vague vestige that only scholars can decipher. This record is a palimpsest of sorts, or a tablet made of clay in some riddled language of the elves long faded. The moon is full, and Ilarion shows her face. In silvery radiance she shines, the friend of bliss. She is guided by the Queen of Stars through nighttime skies. So now we invite you to the sacred dance. Drink deeply of both Miravor and mead, the first to wipe the weariness from your mind, the second to make you merry. The blessed dance that follows the moon, our eternal mirror, with veils that swirl like clouds that drift across her ever-glowing face. We dance in steps that call to remember all her phases, though she is full and round tonight, as she always is in times of merrymaking. The friend of bliss, Ilarion, who blooms in the garden of the sky. Your feet will find the way. They know the patterns. Come and dance in the beauty of this night, which will never come again. To the high elves. We are this land, each arch a testament to simplicity. Each stone is shaped by the most skilled hand, placed to enhance the beauty that is seen. Each walk, home, and temple is refined, for aesthetics must ever be maintained. We have the eye to see the most precious, the most refined silver or gold, platinum or mithril when it can be found, the best of the best, or better still. As we build our land, we build ourselves. Sumptuous materials of the finest weave, no stitch leaves its line, and each embellishment, no matter how minute, designed with care. Expect that we ourselves are art, but with harmony and restraint. Something that is well loved and worn may be more beautiful than something new. Leather becomes softer with age, more pliable, as does linen and the finest silk. Lace, once stiff with starch, once aged, will lay a whisper on the skin. Metal takes on a patina that is art all by itself, verdigris more beautiful than silver new refined, and even rust may present a delicacy in pattern or in form. Books take on the character of their owners. How many times the hand has turned the page and how, or where the plum wine stained the edge when the glass tumbled on the night of valediction. Stained glass, faded and slightly warped, making the patterns of the moon or constellations. Beauty comes not just from perfection, but from inner light, fragility, existence, trials, from appreciation of the whole. Read. Yes. Study too and well. Gain knowledge. But no, this isn't wisdom, for wisdom dwells in experience. History will teach so much, not just what happened, but why. The myriad of lives that were spent in seconds, vibrant beings who took much with them when they left. Make mistakes. Learn. Try again. Learn. Make mistakes and try again. Understand the consequences of actions. Knowing this will cultivate understanding. Listen to the hard-won wisdom of those who have walked before. Those who have found a teacher have found knowledge, but those who have found a mentor access a hoard of ancient secrets. In solitude, reflect. Look inward as well as out. Be mindful that the foundation of wisdom is formed through the understanding of others. Think new thoughts, but don't bind them to yourselves as sacrosanct. Listen to those who have come from other lands, who believe differently. This in turn will build your resolve or irrevocably change it. Both are roads to be traveled. Some things can't be learned. They come from deep inside. Listen to intuition and true emotion as opposed to arrogance and histrionics. Some things will transcend rational thought. Wisdom is paradoxical, a mystery, a treasure to be ever sought. Those deepest truths discernment can provide. If you've met an awkward elf, then an elf you've never met. For all are grace in motion with clumsiness unmet. They move just like the water or the stars up in the sky. Never hurried, never worried, they have not wings but fly. Willow lithe, each step precise and clean, ever self-possessed, detailed and serene. Be one and be in harmony with all that elfdom grants, and if ever you've the opportunity, come join us in the dance. A final thought to the high elves. Dance while you may and laugh in these bright days, for bleaker, harsher times will follow in time's step. You needn't worry about your lifetime, or those of your children, or your children's children many times, but those of your life line will know the toxic sea and live in tears. To the dark elves, secretive, cunning, masters of shadow and intrigue, often misunderstood, you who possess formidable magical abilities and deal in stealth and subterfuge, this I would say. Listen to the songs of my dark friends. They think this long summer will never end, that they are more than any other. that unlike elves are not their brother, that ancient heritage will tell, and that they're the truest elves as well. They live not in the sun, but in harsher places have begun. Darker than the moonless night their magic, insect spies, and things necromantic. Believe that they're born not just to rule, but to subjugate in all things cruel. Think they're stronger, smarter too. To the underground they all withdrew. Pity them, for most their days are numbered, and by their thinking they're encumbered. Earl Shadow Ruler aspired to rule the Everdark. He started with his neighbors, absorbing them under his wing. His soldiers brutally trained in excruciating oppression, and with them he took the clans one by one, starting in the lower depths. Not that they were many there, but those who were murderous. He sought magic along with might, sacrificing to the blood rendered, and crimson rivers ran, and the ground drank the viscous draught. Next to the center depths, where he married well, and then well again when his family's wife fell to illness. Married again, 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 again. Of enemies made allies, joined their houses unto his. He promoted the best of the worst, the most loyal, not even if not highborn. The common man flocked to him because in their frenzy they believed, all brutal, all without mercy, all screaming his name. When he arrived at the capital, he found it his house. The soldiers left the wall to join his ranks, and so the city fell. The Reaches paid him tribute to stay where he was and well away from them. The wise would wonder, does he dream higher now? In arrogance, Varian Eternal Night sought wisdom and learned he'd lost the moon, or his father had, or his father's father, that there were more than caves and brutal thinking, that the air could be soft and light, not dank and fetid. He found that some slept dreaming in warm beds and could trust their neighbors to help when needed. Came to understand that the dark and night were very different things. He learned that the night had stars, and more importantly, the moon, and that not every god is cruel, demanding endless sacrifice, that what his kind thought was normal was bleak instead. When he shared these truths, the blood rendered himself, attempted murder and failed. Varian Eternal Night mourned, not that he was lost, but that his race could never find the light. As history proves, tyrants will have their day. They either do not care, or they are monsters, or that they believe that their might will ever rule. 'Tis hubris to believe such lies. Tyranny will fail. The truth will eradicate their mendacity. To the wood elves, those who are attuned to nature's rhythms, living harmoniously in forests, you who are skilled archers, guardians of the wild, honoring the balance of life. Finlore Whisperleaf would follow those who in folly followed the will-o'-wisp to bring them safely home. He knew where the pixies played and how to ply them with pollen, though those have not many who walk and do not fly. Fairy Sprite, Fay, and Brownie all called him friend. He hunted the hunter when the need arose, and with both bow and sword, brought them low to make safe the woods, his hearth, his heart. He knew where the basilisks laid their eggs, but left them there to hatch, for he well knew that all creatures have the right to live and breathe. Danger for danger's sake was not his goal, but on each occasion He would rise to make the foe, to find the right, to walk his path, to be of use. The bards sing of all he did, and so to this day men of heroic feat are not soon forgotten. Stop, breathe the air at night, or that rare petrichor of the first spring rain. Walk in the gold green of ancient forests carpeted with fern and flower. Lay on your back and watch the sky as constellations make their way across the heaven, or in those instances be awed as the aurora paints cathedrals at the pinnacle of the celestial sphere. Let the sunlight hit your upturned face and watch with eyes closed the visions that appear. View the vistas from high on some mountain top and listen to the eagles scream their freedom. Watch the grays of winter give way to the myriad of springtime greens, to the verdant summer and the saturated autumn scenes. Marvel at the angry ocean beating the drum against rocks, then turn all soft and warm, as though it never knew such wrath. Listen to the silence. Learn the language of the wind, the birds, and the droning of the bees. It's too easy to forget in the busyness of life that nature comforts and can heal your mind and soul. I wasn't a natural, no prodigy with bow and string, and many times in the early days I felt the string slap sting. Instructors adjusted my stance and grip 1,000 times. My body didn't remember, and tears fell, adding to my crimes. I spent more hours on the range than anyone, practicing under the moonlight and not just with the sun. With time, the target further out, I shot and aimed, and in the course of many years I gained. Mastered how to set and tune my bow, and watched the experts' techniques, seeking what they know. What I didn't have in talent, my resolve was firm to hand, and over most of a decade, I came to understand. Today, whether shooting in valleys light or forests dark, my aim is pure, my arrow sure, and I don't miss my mark. I made my oath, and that I made I keep. I will protect the innocent, although it's not clear as some may think. Of course, it's easy with the pure. What harm could there be in a unicorn, let's say? But sometimes evil seeks what they call evil, which if left alone would not bring harm. Oh, that's unclear. Let me speak plainly. If you go and poke a dragon in its den, then flee as it follows to retrieve what you have stolen, or if you hunt the chimera for no sake but fame, then you're the one who must be stopped, for you bring calamity upon us all. My fealty is to the oath, not to you or your agenda. To the wood elves, the sun rises and sets upon us all, both of those of ethics high and low. Virtue does not exempt tragedies that fall, and though hard to bear, sometimes immorality prevails. Although you aspire to the greatest of ideals, remember all those who live will face ordeals. To the moon elves, we, mystical moon gazers, attuned to the lunar cycle, revering the moon as sacred, we who wield lunar magic and embody ethereal beauty in our culture and in our appearance. Distill the essence of the moon under her full face, when the beams of light, both gold and blue, caress the land. Pick shadows from beneath the tree, thin threads to swirl through the light, those hidden aspects which all have, and starlight sparkles from the heavens sent, and from the earth the moon lace lilies scent. With this elixir, learn to know your inner self, see others in a different light than that of day, navigate the things unseen, the unknown realms, connect and draw from the universal powers. In bottles made of diamonds, this draught gleams. With but a sip, you can manifest your dreams. To live is change, but don't tell the other classes. They believe in changes small, a new painting, or a pillow for the bed, not progressive change. But we live in phases, each stage a part of the greater whole. We can't linger but pass through, go to the next and learn and then traverse again. We live the mysteries of the moon, are born when it is new, walk when it's waxing, master when it's full, then wane. Mortals say elves are eternal. If that's true, it's the passing down of wisdom we acquire as we pass through. The tide, time changes, erases the marks we once made upon the sand, but leaves a treasure in its wake. Shells and wood, seaweed and coins from long lost lands. Others will find them. Let go of the pain, though that's often hard to do. For some things have cut so deep they mark the soul. Flood your heart with a myriad of joys, a child's laugh, your mother's hands, your lover's eyes. Don't fear what's to come in tomorrow's tomorrow. Leave what wisdom you can to those who have ears. Don't worry about those who don't. They will find their path or not. To the moon elves, what I say to you, I say to myself. Embrace the auguries, for they are many. In abundance, there's always more, but the time is coming when scarcity will mean an empty hand. If you cut all of the trees, the forest will be gone. The fade. You will reach a perfect moment in a garden, by the water, in the deepest night, or with the sun upon your upturned face. Something so profoundly beautiful that you'll stop, just stop to embrace the moment. And you'll not leave that thing behind. In that perfection, you'll always be. Though you weren't there, you were. Though you aren't there, you were. And left a mark that will not fade. Although your remains are stone, then wood, then glass, then ice, then water, then mist. Though you are gone, you will endure. You have found the fade, and there you will be remembered. To the Fairlanders, you've traveled far to reach this temple, and I've poured out to you those things I own. One caution I would give again. If you read the tales, you can't outrun your fate, and by doing so may bring your own doom. But fate's a funny thing. It's never what we think it is, but something other altogether, and in knowing that, while it may not be thwarted, it can be sidestepped. It's not our past that defines our future. We do that by ourselves, by what we feed our minds and how we act in our priorities, our ethics, by the grace we send outward. Send that inward as well. Warmth extended should not just be for someone else, but for you as well. So many times there is no happily ever after, as we to our own folly fall, or the universe, while not intentional, even though it seems so, destroys and sends us from our place into a darkened future. But today, the land is bright. The winds are fair, and there is laughter and music on the breeze. All manner of folk from everywhere find treasure here. The future is so very far away, so take pleasure in what we know will never last. There is a kiosk behind me. If you have the ability to help with unweaving the unweaver, please leave a please leave a donation. And please remember that Cassie Eldemare of Little Big Designs, who is amazing, her work is phenomenal, is the sponsor of this year's Lit Fest. If you haven't seen her dollhouses, please pay a visit to her store on Sunstone Oasis. I promise you it's worth your time. I thank you all for being here.